I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd just like to take a moment to observe the passing of Roy Hubbard. It's sad to lose. Roy is just one of the iconic figures in our community. Thank you, everyone. Roy will definitely be missed. All right. Okay. Welcome to Town Hall, everyone. Today's the 16th, approximately 5:30 and change. Madam Recorder, our roll call.
Greg Sheen,
Present.
Susan Webster's here, Elizabeth Skinner here, Mary Lynn Hickey here, Reba Dawson is absent, Brian Kessel
Here.
and Rick Weber.
Here. All right. Very good. Did everyone have the opportunity to look over the minutes from the second when the mayor was not present? I see you guys did not turn the town into a parking lot while I was gone. So
Land speed record for meetings, Greg.
We struggled
I'm
for
not
it.
sure I like that, but that's fine.
We're
You
sexually
talk
efficient.
very fast and it shared no information. Okay.
Yay. That's it.
Rick, did you have any issues with the minutes?
I already, if I have them, I send them to
Susan,
Susan.
they're all right,
By the
okay.
time we get to this
All right,
point, they're done.
Minutes approved by common consent. First of all, we have no one before council. Thank you, council, for when I was away. Thank you, Susan, for covering. I appreciate that, everyone's commitment. We all need a break periodically.
You know, we're gonna dock your pay.
Right, please do take all of it. That would only be fair. Just have a few things to share from my mayor's update for the week. The Morgan Arts Council Summer Concert Series opened to a large crowd this past Friday. At last count, there were over 160 people in attendance, so maybe that got up a little bit higher. The town of Bath was recognized as an official sponsor, along with our friends at Travel Berkeley Springs and Charlotte Cafe. So thank you to Jordan Warren, our director, Ross Martin, to all the volunteers who created such an enjoyable opening night performance. It was great. Also want to thank again our Historic Landmarks Commission and the staff, owners of the Morgan Messenger, for including the Town of Bath walking tour map in your annual outdoor pre-printed insert, which is in front of me. The town's in the center of that with the map. Just a beautiful job. Thank you. I sent Kate a note on that as well for including us in this. The insert's available at Town Hall. It's available throughout the community. I know Todd was doing deliveries the other day. He was dropping stacks of these off all over town. So that was just great. And we just got some extras for the town. Please thank everyone over there for us. In addition, we had several visitors to town this week. It was an interesting week. Larry Pack from the West Virginia Department of the Treasury, along with his staff, visited the town hall yesterday to discuss available opportunities with the Treasury Department, to thank us for our participation in the West Virginia Department of the Treasury Money Market Fund and bond funds. There was a time we had less than $600 with the Treasury Department, and now we probably have a pretty significant amount of money invested with the Department of Treasury, particularly considering our size as a Class 4 municipality. In addition to that, he did specifically come here to congratulate council on our historic tax cut, which was unprecedented among state municipalities, using his words. When I was actually in Seattle and talking to the mayor of Edmonds, they said not only is that extraordinary among West Virginia municipalities, it's probably extraordinary against all municipalities in the United States. So that was an interesting meeting. Senator Darren Thorne, along with West Virginia University Medicine CEO Mark O'Hearn, visited Town Hall this morning to share WVU's efforts to establish a larger market presence in Morgan County, specifically the town of Bath. That's beginning with their new rapid care facility opening in January, and this is next to the Rudders, where the Dunkin' Donuts. So we'll have what they refer to as rapid care is essentially urgent care, and they're looking at again some other space, hopefully here in town, which will be testing oncology and things of that nature. So we're going to continue that conversation. This is important. The old school building on Green Street was included in this discussion. I know we get a lot of talk about that, even really at Travel Berkeley Springs, but WVU does not maintain any interest in the property or in opening a clinical drug addiction facility at that location. So that's good news. Not that that changes, that someone else cannot come along and do that, but it will not be West Virginia University Medicine. The town is scheduling additional follow-up meetings to establish a strategic partnership agreement between WVU and the town of Bath moving forward. This agreement will include marketing and community relationship building between WVU and the town. So there's some great opportunities with that, and we'll be bringing those forward. They'll be reaching out to Sandy to set up the next steps. Bath in Bloom. This is a small scale of the yard signs that are going to be available. So Bath and Bloom metal yard signs are going to print at Panhandle Printing this week. This is the town of Bath will be celebrating and highlighting our best gardens throughout towns. Details will be posted to the town of Bath website and Facebook shortly. So we'll be putting these in gardens throughout town.
That's really well done.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
love it.
thank your.
Is that a Sandy
I knew
creation?
it as soon as I saw it.
Yeah.
Very
Kudos,
good.
lady.
It
Very,
includes,
That's beautiful.
it includes the
Nice.
town of Bath QR code. And, again, I think this is fabulous, and other folks do it, not to quite the extent. This will be a metal sign on a metal pole in the yards. I think what's the full size, Cindy? Is it a 9 by
9x12.
9 by 12? So a little bit larger than this. So in our award-winning gardens, and I know this makes Colonel Landon happy because this was always something he was pushing for a while.
It's a
So
work of art.
That
yeah,
is
it's beautiful, and I love the bathtub.
beautiful.
So the bathtub's fantastic. So.
Oh,
Now I want to
Thank
see,
you.
yeah, I want to see a bathtub like that. I think we should get at least one that has that logo and put it somewhere on our wide sidewalks.
Didn't Happy offer us a bathtub?
Did she? Well, can we reach
Remember?
out? Can you reach out to Happy and see if we can get that bathtub? And we'll
She
take
did.
care
It
of
was a
the,
couple weeks ago, right after last meeting. She offered us a
and we'll
bathtub.
take care of all the logo design, and if it needs to be cleaned, the painting, then we'll just, and the flowers and all that, because that's not a big project.
Figure out where to put it.
Put it where to put it. Yeah, so thank you, Sandy. That's great work. I think that is that's all I have. So at this point, we will move. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I forgot the most important piece of news for everybody that loves scavenger tours. I know that Lisa Swanson really enjoys these. You can go around town, Lisa, find all the various locations, 1 through 11. Well, actually 1 through 19 with a bonus. And there's also a QR code and the answers to the various scavenger hunt locations. This was put out. Was this a on-track project?
That was on track, yeah.
So thank you to On Track for, these have been put out in all the businesses around town. I think they're in shops now. I've seen some of these. So good work by, our marketing branding department of the town of Bath. And we are going to collaborate with Travel Berkeley Springs. They want to work together on a joint partnership for a September event between the town. Just since we have October, obviously we have apple butter, but something in September to generate traffic and tourism for that time. So great work, Sandy. Thank you for that. On Track so we talked about the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding with the Mac Ice House is available. Do I need to read that, Susan, or is that, I'll just go over it real quick for everybody. As we all know, and this has been in effect already, but this is just the final sponsorship agreement between the town of Bath and the Morgan Arts Council. The town of Bath has already made a contribution of $5,000 this year, an additional contribution of $5,000 next year to underwrite the concert series for the next 2 years. So we're really excited to be able to work with MAC, and this just includes. Sorry about that.
Popular guy.
Yeah. That was just, yeah. Again, I'm trying to think if there's anything here. It includes verbal recognition during each performance for the town, social media posts for the town also reciprocating social media posts for MAC, placement on the MAC website. The town will also place MAC on our website with the scheduled events. And then there's also joint advertising in the Morgan Messenger and on 92.9, the local radio station, Cool FM. So that's great. And that was the first night was great.
Okay, so this is the official.
That's the official coming
agreement.
back. That came back from MAC after we drafted the agreement. Yeah. So.
Okay, so we probably need to go ahead and officially pass it.
Okay.
What's it? Okay. I make a motion that we pass the sponsorship agreement with Morgan Arts Council on the summer concert series, sponsorship.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor with a second. The town of Bath to enter into a sponsorship agreement with the Morgan Arts Council. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I will sign. Thank you, Susan. Keeping me on point. It's always a challenge, keeping the mayor on point, that's for sure.
Hey, Greg, under on track, did you want to make any mention of the?
Well, I thought that you could, you might want to add, if you don't mind, you want to carry
Oh,
that?
sure. I was just gonna talk about the downtown beautification. Hey Larry, is that flower basket still sitting there on the floor next to you? The big one? Over
You
there?
would see it if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public
Okay.
Works got it.
So as part of our downtown beautification, we had ordered special banners, Town of Bath banners in our brand colors. And we ordered 22-inch around flower baskets that are now in the process of being put up all over town. We'll start with the banners, we will finish with the baskets, and by the time we hit the 4th of July, we'll
Hopefully,
be even more pretty than
yes.
we are now.
So, no, that's great. The first ones will be up on Wilkes. I'm just kind of testing them, lining up on Wilkes, and then we'll
Yeah.
loop around and get to 522 to complete the project. But yeah, the guys, Public Works is doing a great job with that.
Mhm.
And then we just have to send out the baskets to people and then put up there. So that's a little bit more of a challenge. So thank you, Mary, and
You bet.
thank you to Bree for running our own tracks department. Parks and Rec, next meeting is the 18th at 7 p.m. at the courthouse. If you're interested in attending the Parks and Rec meeting. Planning Commission, Larry?
So we were not able to have our meeting last week, so we are going to meet tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So so our next meeting is not in the July. We've rescheduled the June's meeting, but the date for July is valid.
Yeah, so you're going to be 17. So what time, Larry, are you going?
6:17 at 5 o'clock.
Okay, tree board will be at 6:30. Okay, great. All right, thank you, Larry. Pete, what do you have for us?
The rail trail.
Yes, sir.
It's at Bill Clark's request, the conference call we make roughly every month from DOH. They've been told to do that with the county. And we're gonna focus on getting the design engineering contract actually under a contract. There's a punch list that Tim Sadowski put out some time ago, and we can't seem to get our way through that. It's relationships with the potential contractor is not quite the same as it is with what we have with Streetscape, but we'll get there. And I think that it's cost estimates, ticket punching on doing it the 5G way. They tell us it's done. We can't find the letter that the state has to approve. And there's an estimate, and then the contract will be something like what the Streetscape design contract is. And it goes through an estimating process. So I put together an agenda and told DOH what we wanted to talk about. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And Joel and Bill, I think he's got something else going on, but Joel and I and Christie will be there.
Good.
So that's good as far as,
So you're going to meet in person?
no,
Okay.
they're far away.
Okay.
But I think we're going to be over the commissioner and you two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you're
try.
part of the invite because you're the
Yes.
senior people.
Oh,
You're
jeez.
the principals.
Yeah,
How about
thank
that?
you.
Nobody likes to hear senior. But anyway, your principals like Bill and Joel. Okay. I'm just the MC.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you for that.
So-
Yeah.
And I think that's in the commission's
That's 4
conference
p.m.
room, but
4,
it's one.
It's one?
1.
Yeah, it's
No, tomorrow
Tomorrow
is 1.
conference call is at 1 o'clock.
Conference
call.
Wednesday the 17th.
So that's good. Okay, so.
And I sent out the agenda, and you two folks presumably got that email this morning. So you can see what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, all right.
We didn't get it, let me know. And I think we're previous discussions, we've got pretty set on the bridges. And that District 5's gonna buy. And still the forces group that their employees, the state of DOH, the state of West Virginia, and they do road projects and things like that, and put things back together that fell apart. They're still earmarked for working on the trail and possibly installing the bridges. So, I mean, if things are moving, I can't see it, but they're moving more than I saw it in the past.
Okay.
Anything else on rail trail? No. Okay.
Just playing the waiting game.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, streetscape, we're gonna have a streetscape meeting this Thursday. But right now, we're in the middle of the design. It's not gonna be here 30% either for independence or for Congress until about mid-July. And I'm gonna do a little road trip to Thrasher before that, to hurry that up. Rick and I went down to District 5 last week
Thank you for that.
and kind of introduced ourselves and such like that, and discovered how to do things with bridges. We're going to talk about that on Thursday, and I think the thing, chief on the discussion was who does the responsible for the maintenance for wet streets and et cetera. We kind of know that.
Yeah.
But Pfizer Street.
Yeah. I'll talk about, I can do it now.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
First thing I brought up, I said, my part was just Pfizer Street. I said, first of all, I didn't know whether West Virginia, I thought, had taken over bridges they had. He said, well, that's true in part. They're gonna handle the inspection part, but if the bridges are in your town and aren't on DOH property or state property, then it's yours to fix, which Pfizer is ours. But he also walked us through a process that we'll be talking about Thursday, where we can formulate a maintenance agreement with DOH. They'll come and relook at the bridge that they had us shut down, so they're already involved, they know what it is. They'll use their people to do the work, which is a nonprofit thing, so it'll save money in the course. And he said there is some monies available that can help us defray some of the costs. So we'll be talking about that Thursday, get the maintenance agreement thing started and get that one done as we can. Because like I said, it's been closed for more than a year. And those people, I mean, the apartment complex is right there, and they're going either way down at the end or way up at this end. So we'll be looking at that.
And the district knows this. They know what the issue are, and they know how to fix this. It's this
It makes perfect sense.
There's two worlds of bridges. There's the big bridges, and then there's the bridges under 20 feet.
Yeah, okay.
And they're not even in some of the databases. They're not.
They're not even in the 4-year
And
cycle.
in some cases, they're not inspected. Pfizer probably was inspected because it's bolted onto Route 9.
Yes,
Right next
probably
to
so.
COH. So there's a sense of responsibility that I think I caught from Kyle.
I did too.
is the guy.
It was really a beneficial trip just because now we have a face
Yes.
and he knows us and we know him. I thought it was the best thing we ever did.
Yeah, it was an easy one.
Yeah.
It's all about relationships in West Virginia.
Walk me through the process for that bridge replacement as you see it, Pete.
Well, I
Pfizer.
think, we'll get further into this on Thursday.
Okay,
Okay.
that's-
There is a process.
And we
You
know the
enter
process.
into that through the maintenance agreement.
Okay.
And it's not us shooting from the hip.
This
He
is a
will send
state
us the
program.
form, we will submit the state
Yeah.
form back to the state people at DOH. And
Okay.
he will see this whole
Yeah,
thing
and
through.
The expectation is they'll come up with what is it that needs to be done. Because they're the bridge people, and what.
And how much, what
Yeah,
needs to be
how
done.
much it
how much-
costs, and then
Right.
maybe you can
And that will
arm
include
wrestle over the
everything.
cost share or whatever. But they're the bridge folks. It's very clear that Kyle is not a bridge engineer, but they're in charge of bridge structure, how to do it. We don't have to go hire everybody. We don't have to go hire everybody to do inspections. That's part of starting with this.
The
maintenance.
maintenance engineer that does it all is Kermit Bennett.
You know,
So
Kermit
He's in the
Dad?
We will.
He's in the operations side.
Right,
Our
right.
good friend Kermit Bennett.
So that was an excellent meeting.
Good.
We'll talk about that on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
In West Virginia, people don't know this, but in West Virginia, everything is political but politics, and that's personal. That's the way we look at it.
Yes, yeah. we got it.
That's the saying.
Yeah, but the thing is Kyle sent us a website. I will have examined this before Thursday.
Okay.
They sent us a website which apparently can identify every street and road in town and who's responsible for what.
Well, that's handy piece of information.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about the Fairfax Street Bridge on Thursday.
That's a whole different issue.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get that?
Great work on that, by the way. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
taking the time to make that face
So
to face.
apparently I only scared him a couple of times.
That's what I understand.
You know, a few
Even bought
years ago, they told
snacks
us
and
that
water.
Fairfax Street Bridge was
For sale.
dangerous.
Oh, it's still,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
it's in poor condition.
It's not dangerous.
That's not to say it's
I'm not
dangerous, it's
scared.
in poor condition. Some of us are in poor condition, but we're not
Mm.
dangerous. Well, we're not bridges either. Okay, that's it. I will, get down and make sure we do actually get some drawings mid-July and such like that. And you can hold your breath for the next, I don't know, few weeks. This is kind of the time of the year when the governor makes announcements about grant awards.
Mhm.
So we'll just wait and see what happens. I haven't found anybody that knows anything for sure, and they don't give away a schedule or anything. It's much more fun this way.
All right, Pete, so to recap, 1 o'clock tomorrow courthouse,
1 o'clock tomorrow, courthouse,
Thursday, 10 a.m.
10
here.
a.m. here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, I will be in attendance. Thank you for that. Great work, guys. Good. You found that productive. All right, Train Depot.
Okay, well, a couple things. One is July 10th, the mini split is going to be installed on July 10th. So they will have heat in the baggage room and air conditioning. The street lamps are in process. I've put together all the principal players in it. Marge and the electrician and Dusty. And so all those people are coordinating on how to do that. We still don't have anything, we have looked at the tree and, Pete looked at the tree. It's gonna have to be cut back. If you look
Got it.
at,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Cut the
have
tree
to
back.
be,
I don't think it's gonna be destroyed.
it's not gonna be destroyed, but it'll have to be
It'll have the
trimmed up.
low-hanging ones, the
Selective pruning.
biggest limb down on the bottom is gonna have to go.
Yeah, I think so. Just like on your street, the street lamp that comes up around that beautiful tree on the corner there, it's happy there, and they
Yeah.
live together. So I think this will
Yeah, some prunings needed.
this will
on
be
that.
the same.
And
kind of thing.
Susan, I just want to mention for those 3 beautiful street lamps that are unique and will be unique to the train depot, when we get that far, we will make sure, we've already got banners that should retrofit, but you're gonna need a different, those poles are they're not as chunky as
Oh,
ours.
okay.
So
Sure,
we're gonna
sure.
have to special order some
Okay.
hardware so you can get flowers and you can get banners.
All right, wonderful. The only other thing that we've talked about, and we've talked about it a couple weeks, is parking in the depot lot, day parking in the depot lot. And I brought up in the finance committee that we, start giving the public or, RVs, tour buses and things like that, guidance, instructions, how they can park, only day parking and like that, and some marketing of it. So people know that if you're traveling across country or you have an RV and you want to stop and see the town of Bath, you're welcome to pull in here, go to the Welcome Center and walk around town. So we're going to talk to Travel Berkeley Springs a little bit about that and get that rolling, because people are riding through town and not stopping like they should and going to our restaurants.
My understanding is at this point, it's not overnight.
It's
No,
not
we know that.
No, and we.
Which is
we
better,
don't
because
want
then they need water and electric hookup,
Well,
which we
It'd be a
can't give
whole-
them.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
This is just a place.
Come
to
for the
park.
day and stop for lunch.
Yeah, because of the remediation, they couldn't spend the night there anyway.
Yeah, and we're not, I don't know.
Someday they will.
Maybe someday, but
Well, it's
it's not.
possibly coming faster than we expect. That's part of getting Bill Clark stuff under contract.
Yeah.
When I see something coming faster than I think with that depot.
Oh, I
you-
know,
You give me
faster.
plenty of warning.
That's faster than you think, that's called a
I
derecho.
applaud your hopeful attitude.
Yes.
Somebody has to have it.
Yes.
Is that-
Okay,
Are you good with that?
and that's good, all I've got, yeah.
A Landmark Commission, we don't have a representative from the Landmark Commission, but next meeting is the 22nd at 4 to discuss an update on the Mount church, Black Church. I'm trying to get a status on that. One is ownership. How do we structure that? Who was actually the purchasing party? That's part of the discussion, and then begins the grant process of.
Aren't they donating it? Not that there aren't carrying costs for the transaction, but
Essentially, it'll be donated. We will have to pay the closing costs
Okay.
to do everything. But that it's essentially who would be the responsible party for any matches due to grants and any unforeseen surprises when you start taking that building apart to begin. We know how that's
Is it donated to the town or to the
Well, that's-
HLC?
well-
That's still kind of gray.
It would, yeah, that's the part of the discussion.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's-
been discussed.
Yeah, it's just, ownership is, what should the town and what should the town not own
Right.
is really what it comes down to.
right. And also as a commission, if the Landmark Commission were the owner, they would then also need to have a budget for repairs, maintenance,
Yeah,
taxes, et
Ongoing,
cetera.
the ongoing expenses, yeah, so that's the,
Which I'm not sure they're in a position to do.
yeah, so, right, good point, all valid points, we'll get all that sorted out as we get closer to making a decision on that. Madam Clerk, do you have anything?
Nothing to report.
All right, thank you, Sandy. You've been busy enough doing what you're doing, so thank you for that. Madam Recorder, you spent a lot of money while I was gone.
I know, except
Jeez,
Some of the amounts are on here.
there's no.
the amounts are right on here. Do we have the amount?
We have the
We have
stacks of
the amounts
bills.
on the real things, yeah.
You had the real things in there?
Yeah, they're in the packet.
All right, let me go through this.
Is that bad, Susan?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
We
here's
decided
the,
that
I
with
see,
you
we
not
got
here
all
that we
these.
Who
would
said
not
that's
spend
big
any
enough
money.
anyway? Okay, there we go.
Okay, I'll write it in here.
All right.
Maybe I won't this time.
I'll try to remember what you said.
Oh, wait a minute.
Which one?
Now, wait a minute, we have the.
They're not in the same order, but
Yeah, what do
you got, I'm here. Keep going.
There we
Oh,
go,
start
there we
we're all
go.
We're
Okay,
okay.
start.
They were gonna-
All right, they're not in the same order, we're all
Yeah,
just gonna
okay.
go
Yeah,
through
you're
the
good.
pages.
Yep.
Okay, we have the Town of Bath bills in the amount of $44,643.68. I make a motion that we pass these bills for payment.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $44,643.68. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks in the amount of $125,260.63.
Second.
All right, I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Berkeley Springs Waterwork bills in the amount of $125,260.63. Any discussion? I do want to point out that half of that expense is tied to the necessary purchase of some excavator equipment, which is actually in essence going to save the town money over time because it eliminates contracting and leasing equipment. So within 2 or 3 years' time, that will cover, less than probably 2 years' time, that will cover the expense of this new piece of equipment. We will own it outright, so that's just an expense. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the tree board bills in the amount of $300.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the tree board bills in the amount of $300. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the train depot bills in the amount of $350.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to pay the train depot bills in the amount of $350. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $3,600.
Second. Okay.
I have a motion on the floor with a second. Pay the Greenway Cemetery bills, this is primarily mowing for $3,600. Any discussion?
Everything okay with
Yeah,
that?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, very good.
I make a motion that we pay the hotel motel disbursements in the amount of $5,092.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the on-track hotel motel dollars in the amount of bills in the amount of $5,092. Any discussion? I'm just looking at this. The item was a
Oh, I
part of
see.
our
Yes.
facade grant
Yes.
program. The country inn had some work done, which the town paid half of that, so that was a significant piece of that on tracks. All in favor?
Thank you.
All right.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. It's always great to see businesses improving their businesses and us being able to
So
support
pretty.
those
They did.
improvements, so, yeah, good for them.
And then we have bills, make a motion that we pay bills for on track in the amount of $3,791.53.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with I'm gonna ask for a little clarification on this. Are we duplicating? Did we have two separate facade? We have on track is showing up under both hotel motel and under on track.
Is it the same amount of money? No, it's
No,
not the
they're
same.
different.
Homes and BGL rentals.
They're different.
Well, but BGL rentals is on both documents.
Because we ordered a bounce house for both events. We had a bounce house at the
$200
food
for
truck
Justin
festival, and then we had
Well, if
one.
you look under, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to dive into this, but
Yeah, no,
It's okay.
if you look under Town of Bath on track, Mary, it says
Yeah.
BGL rentals, but it says description facade reimbursement, $2,500. It's not, that's not.
Oh, that's a clerical error. I think,
Okay.
let's conditionally, we approve that one, but let's just unpack, what the description is. I think the description was not correct.
Yeah, so-
We'll get clarification.
yeah, so Sandy, if you could just make a note for Bree on this, that there's some confusion between the hotel motel amount of $5,092, which reflects $5,000 in facade grants, and then another $2,500 in facades grants on the Town of Bath on-track bills. So
Right.
I'm just thinking that we may just have duplicated that. Because 5,000 would have been the total, the town expenditure for 2,500 to BGL and 2,500 to country. Because I remember
There it
approving
is.
twice,
Yes.
but it's
Mhm.
reflected 3 times.
And I think Bree normally doesn't do this, so
Right.
she's filling in for Sharon, so
It's just before
nothing
we,
we can't get through.
before we, hey, get the bill.
You get-
Before we get these checks issued, just make sure.
All right, thank you, that's all.
That's all.
That's it. We made it, yay.
Okay.
Don't leave again.
Don't leave it. Back to my page,
Not
you're ready
any
for more
money.
about
We
these.
didn't-
Guys are spending it quick, folks. Tree board, Kate, do you have anything for tree board?
Kathy would be.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm actually.
Oh, all right, Beth, thank you. Yeah.
We are meeting tomorrow night at 6:30.
Okay.
And I guess that's all I need to report for.
Thank you.
for the
Okay.
time being.
We have a
We have a volunteer application for the tree board.
But I
Yeah.
don't see him again.
Oh, for Sean,
Yeah, but he was gonna,
Did he know he should come?
is it a requirement to appear in person, or can
Is it?
we look at
It's
the?
not technically a requirement, but we've always
he went
encouraged it.
down,
we
I
said-
see him on the
We haven't,
street.
we have approved people without
Yeah.
them appearing in the past. And we asked them if there's some time
Did you
they can
talk to
come
him,
and just
Susan?
introduce
No,
themselves.
I think the last meeting we said that we were gonna contact him and have him come today.
That's my recollection as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll see him tomorrow, and I'll just, I'll attend tomorrow's meeting, I'll see him tomorrow, and then I'll just specifically see if he can come in for the
Yeah.
next town council meeting.
okay,
Sure.
Third
you
time's
should-
the charm.
You should
Yeah,
know
he
us
should.
too.
Mhm.
You should know us too.
We are having our meetings for tree board now at 6:30 in the
Got it.
evening to accommodate work schedules.
Got it.
So that might be the issue.
All right, oh,
True.
thank you, Beth. Okay. Moving on, Mary, if you want to just take over for grants with Reva's absence. please.
Sure. We don't have too much new activity under the grants banner. I will tell you that, on Thursday morning, I will be attending the, Tom and Virginia Seeley Foundation breakfast over at the Country Inn, because the Bath Civic Trust, and this is a great example of how this parallel architecture is working on the town's behalf, did receive $5,000 from Seeley, which is all a restricted grant for the Christmas market. So we will be taking receipt of those funds on Thursday at that awards breakfast, and excited to have that resource as seed money for this year's Back to Christmas market.
Okay,
I'll talk about water stuff
good,
underwater.
I was gonna ask that, okay. Josh, anything you wanna add for public safety? Where are we with things in town?
Chief didn't tell me anything in particular. Just want to remind everybody that there's a lot of people walking, very busy, just these crosswalks, and for everybody to kind of slow down, make sure they're paying attention to everybody. A lot of busy days.
And-
Busy's good.
Yeah, and again, do want to make sure that people are parking properly, because we have a lot of folks parking in the wrong direction. Seems to be a contagious problem right now.
That's an ordinance, so it's
Yeah,
enforceable.
it's important, but saying, for whatever reason, this weekend, I saw half a dozen cars or more, and the 3 in a row parking the wrong way, and you guys be careful when you're pulling into traffic. But thank you for that, Josh. Next public safety meeting is the 18th. Yeah, okay. Busy week.
Tomorrow.
Figured out all these things in my schedule. Beth, cemetery?
Two things. The Cemetery Corporation is meeting with the county commissioners tomorrow at 10 o'clock to give them a general introduction into the headstone restoration project that we have undertaken in Greenway, and we have requested hotel motel funds from them, so we just want them to understand what's going on. And we also will be addressing maintenance mowing in Greenway. And
You go, Beth.
it's, I'm sure they're gonna give us 15, 20 minutes at the max, so, but
Yeah.
I think we have some pretty impressive information to share with them, so
Good.
we're excited about that. The other thing I have is on Saturday, Dave O'Connell and I attended the Loudoun Cemetery Conservatory meeting. And this is a group of people that oversee cemeteries throughout Loudoun County, which there are many of them because it's a big county and they have a lot of money. The purpose of the seminar was to look at general areas of cemetery care, everything from legal requirements to things that could be legal issues for cemeteries and so forth. And their hope is that we are going to take this information, probably develop a subcommittee and do the same thing here in West Virginia. Greenway is the largest public or private cemetery in Morgan County, and they are looking for groups to start taking their cemeteries as seriously as Loudoun County does. So this was an introduction of the kinds of things we need to start looking at. And we got a lot of good information, and some of it related specifically to Virginia. So we have to do our homework and find the same information for West Virginia. I think there's a lot of lacking information in West Virginia. So there, in my mind, Dave and I didn't talk about this, there may be some areas that we are even gonna have to address the legislature in order to protect some of our historic cemeteries. And so there's a lot of work, but there's a lot of good things going on. And so I just wanted to make you aware of that work that may be on our part of our 5-year plan that we are beginning to start to develop. So that's all I have.
No, that's great. And I mean, honestly, that's really meaningful and purposeful work. And again, and you know how I feel about sharing the response, it's both a moral responsibility and a financial responsibility to share in the cost of maintaining that cemetery to standard, and why there's pushback in regard to that. I can't understand it. I mean, it's unreasonable to request that this town of 800 people take full responsibility for Greenway in particular. That there should be a shared responsibility. Because at the end of the day, it's a rounding error for the county to contribute 50% of what it costs to support cutting the grass and maintaining the cemetery. So we'll discuss that tomorrow, and then we'll see how that
Good
goes.
luck.
Right.
I
And we
know.
believe that as we improve Greenway, I don't ever think it's gonna be a profitable asset, but it can certainly be an asset historically
Right.
related to tourism. and the history of our town and our county. That will indirectly bring people into the community.
No, I agree. And yeah, to look upon it as anything other than just, well, it's not intended to be any type of a profitable enterprise,
Yes.
whatsoever. We can somehow balance it where the town does not have 100% of the burden. I think that's the thing to do. And again, it's just a discussion that, it needs to take place. It's taken place several times, and I can't understand why it's an immediate no.
Right, and
I
it is a
think I
county
really can't.
asset as much as it's a town asset. It's here in Morgan County, and it's not like you can't get buried there unless you lived in the town. There's plenty of people whose geographic footprint is outside of our town and they're in that cemetery.
Probably 80-90% of
Yeah.
people buried in the cemetery.
It's
I
a
mean, we
historic
can
education.
literally
Nice.
document
Yeah, you're-
60%, but we know that it's higher than that.
Sure.
there's some-
So,
Yeah, you're uncovering some fascinating information all the time. I mean, Terry Golden's on my porch like every Saturday reporting new information from the historical and genealogical. So now, I'm going to share this real quickly because it's going to bore everybody, but Colonel Landon, that the Biddles, you probably heard about
Yes,
the Biddles.
yes.
The Biddle House, which would probably where the third iteration of the Country Inn on the part that looks like the Bavarian Inn
Yes,
kind of location
yes.
was the location
Yeah,
roughly of the
that's
Biddle
what it
home.
seems like.
And Lieutenant Biddle, who's the son of the Biddles, served in the United States 7th Cavalry, Custer, and he was killed. So it's just kind of a fascinating thing to know that a member of the 7th Cavalry in Montana, for goodness sake, originated from the town of Berkeley Springs.
The Battle of the Little
Bighorn.
Yeah.
And so, and he was, and somehow they must have retrieved the body because he's actually buried in Philadelphia. So it's a complicated, you can put it all together, but it's a fascinating story, so.
And a member of their family was a commandant of the Marine Corps in the 1830s.
Thank you very much. So it's even more reflective of the importance to Larry, so. So the Biddles, which, again, that's Terry Golden uncovering. He had pictures of the Biddle house, the Biddles, and I've never heard of the Biddle family, but God bless them for their service and contribution to this great nation, so good for them. But thank you, Beth. It's fascinating stuff and noteworthy to have these discussions of folks that are buried in that cemetery and honoring them and keeping it a pleasant and clean place for folks to visit. And you drive all the traffic on 522 drives by it, so it should be clean and neat and reflective of the pride that we have in our community. So, good work for you, and that's the short story we'll share tomorrow. All right, Rick, you got Apollo stuff, Public Works.
Nah, not that much. We already talked about the Visor Street Bridge. Next Tuesday is the first installation of our light replacements. And it's going to be on Roy's side of the street, which is the east side of the street, from Johnson's Mill down to William Street. They'll do all of that. If they get done before their 3 o'clock or 3:30 quitting time, they're going to go ahead and hit some of the other side roads. Then on the 30th, which are purposely scheduled these because they're non-garbage days and our public works guys can be available if they need them for anything. The police department and public works are going to put out signs on both sides, no parking on those 2 days. And it just asks people to move if they don't follow that. And this should be done, I would say, within, after the 30th, probably another week or so for them to get all the other lights in the first 54. So it's coming to be.
Awesome, and at no cost to us.
Nope, we're not putting in any additional lights. So it's just replacement. So we're good.
And the 33% saving on our electric bill.
Yes.
So factor that in.
Okay, our supervisor of public works decided that he would move on to greener pastures, but he's gonna give us 3 weeks. Is that what you got, Greg?
I got 2, but
Told
I'll
me
work
three.
from your
He
number
told me
then. I'll
three.
work from your number 3.
And so we are in desperate need of a person with a CDL license. So if anybody's watching this and you have one, please contact us in the town council. And that's for that.
That's the nature of that position.
Question,
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
bus drivers, do they have CDLs that are equivalent?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, thank you,
He's got an idea.
And even if
because
they
it
want,
is summer.
Yes.
It is summer.
Summer.
and it could even if a bus driver wants a part-time job here, doesn't necessarily have to be full-time, but it could be a part-time, and they just do the trash route, that's it, they're working 4 days a week and half
In the
days.
mornings.
And half days, so flexible work schedule, so if you know some great ideas.
That would
Larry,
do
by the
us
way.
for the summer and get us over the hump.
And even if the
Exactly.
fall,
You know any,
Yeah,
okay?
thank you, Larry, that was a
And I
great point.
talked to the public works guys today, those historic markers are still not up.
Okay,
Okay, let me explain where that is.
all right.
Reba took that on and she was dealing with Priscilla. But what has to happen with that, and everybody knows this, they have to have representatives from the Public Service District, from the Water Department, HLC, and the Public Works crew. So that they can look at, okay, we want one right here. And one of those two agencies can say, sorry, you can't because this is under here. And then they can say, but you could put it over here. And then they can mark
Yeah.
it. And then our guys can know where they can put them.
Yeah.
But this has not happened at this point in time. So and it can't without that happening. So that's where it is.
All right, Terry Gold and I got 6 done really, really quickly. We went, we talked to the homeowner, chose a spot in their yard, spray paid that, go to the water guys. Nothing's in the ground but water or sewer. Okay, there's no electric in the ground.
The one that our guys tried to put in,
Well,
they
that's-
hit something.
Yeah, they,
So now they're done
That's the
showing.
thing.
yeah,
It's called misutility, and I think it's a law.
It is.
Right, and what Miss Utility does, and she calls the Public Service District and the Water Department, and they come wherever you want. But usually it's just one location.
yeah, yeah.
This needs to be all 8 or 10 or whatever these are. They can do it in 20 minutes. But that's the way it has to happen so that we don't get anything.
Right.
All right,
So,
okay, understood.
okay, that's good for me.
All right, great.
Okay.
Thank
Maybe
you.
you could do 2 a week.
Yeah, I think
But
we
you
can manage
enjoy
to.
the
Yeah.
next.
And aren't most of them already up?
We have
There's
I
just
about,
a
don't know how,
handful
there's
that-
probably like 6 or 7 left.
Yeah, okay, so this is something that with
It's
a
just
coordinated
something-
effort could be knocked out in the morning.
If they get somebody from
Have a
each of those
location.
agencies to say,
Exactly.
nope, there's nothing here, mark it,
and
and
the
our guys can
homeowner
put
is
them up.
aware of where it's going. They pick the spot within
Mhm.
reason and.
As long as they okay it, that it's not a misutility
Yeah.
violation or something, then yeah, it could be done in one morning.
Okay.
So
Giving a good thought for
that's
that
why it's
outcome.
not done. Okay.
Thank you, Rick. Ryan, ordinance, catch us up, please.
Yes, for ordinance, this is going to be the first official reading of the new town election ordinance, which amends the town charter. And I previewed this two meetings ago. And just as background again, last year the state passed a law to mandate all the municipalities in West Virginia switch their elections to the statewide elections in even years. And then this year, they passed a law which allows municipalities to amend their charter without having to go through elections and some of the other rules that are required generally to change charters. So this is going to change section 6 of the charter, which deals with elections. And this is posted on the town website. So first off, there's the preamble stating where all the laws pertaining to this come into effect. And then there's 4 sections that this is changing the charter, amending the charter. And section 2 is the important part about one-time transitional terms. So in 2027, the election will proceed as normal, but the term will be for 11 months instead of the standard 2 years. This is so that the town can then switch to the even years that the state mandated. And in section 3, then it states it will resume to the 2-year term starting in 2028. And finally, section 4 then establishes the election day beginning in 2028, which will be the statewide primary day, which is presently the 2nd Tuesday in May in even years. So that is what the ordinance will entail, amending the town charter for elections.
Okay, very good.
Let me ask you this,
Sure.
Ryan. So once this goes into effect after the 11-month, then it would change over after the May elections, and June 1st would be the start of the new terms. Do I have that?
Right, June 1st will be the start of the new term so that there's not a 6 or 7 week,
Okay.
which
My
for
question,
Congress to go.
my question is that going to be a problem or anything because it doesn't match with the fiscal year like it currently does?
As
No?
long as we have electoral ability to conduct business, no.
And Sharon can just do it fiscal year. Okay, okay. You answered the question. We're good. And nice job,
It's
Ryan.
fine, that's what it
It
is.
is, it is, it's not, this isn't negotiable, so this is. required by
And
the
I mean,
state.
some of these ordinances in much bigger municipalities are 10 and 20 pages long. Ryan did a good job of just leaning off the important facts that people can read it and understand it. So
Mhm.
nice job.
Very good.
We need a motion, yes?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-2, town elections, referencing our date changes for upcoming elections to get on the county schedule.
Can I just?
As the first reading.
This is the
As a
first
first
reading.
reading.
First reading.
But we don't really need
We
to.
need a second.
Oh, I'll second. Okay.
We have a motion on the floor with a second.
Does he actually have to read it?
No, no, you can't give us,
No,
you
you
can't
gave
give
us.
us,
Okay. I mean,
you can
pretty much
summarize.
repeating what it says.
Yeah, you can give a summary of the information provided.
Okay.
So I have a motion on the floor with a second to approve the first reading of ordinance 2026-2 town elections. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll sign that.
And the second reading will be the next town council meeting.
You don't need to sign it, you'll sign it next time.
Right, so we'll have to sign date.
Yeah, you put the
Put
date.
date, but I don't have an original copy either, so.
Right. Yeah.
I'll get our.
Well, I
And then the
think
next,
it's-
meeting this Thursday at 3:30. That's all
All
right.
right, thank you. All right, let's jump over to water, Mary, please.
Alrighty. I do want to bring everyone up to speed on where things are with the 522 extension. The project was advertised in the May 13th and 20th editions of the Morgan Messengers. The proposed, or the pre-bid meeting was held on June 3rd. Bree from our staff did attend that, where potential contractors have an opportunity to ask questions. And upcoming on June 24th at 10 a.m. over at the Morgan County Courthouse is the proposed bid opening for this project. So just want to share those dates with everyone. And also, we are all coming up on the 1-year anniversary of our new committee assignments. I've been handling water since last July. And we were tasked with getting funds for the restoration and rehabilitation of our water utility. As of this point, a year later, we have acquired raised funds, I should say, in the total amount of $2,750,000, which essentially puts us a third of the way for the projected expense that we have in our professional engineering report of $8 million. What's important about this number, I've mentioned it before, but today I'm talking tangibly about the specific awards we've gotten. Applied with Shelley Moore Capito's Office for CDS funding, got $1 million from the Army Corps of Engineer. Also applied for IJDC loan combination grant. That total package is $750. The IJDC loan portion is $375, and it's a 2% loan that the town will manage as just regular cash flow. And then the most recent award we got was $1 million from Riley Moore. And again, the value of these grant funds means that our water tariff's not going up because we are finding other ways to finance this besides putting it on the backs of our customers. And we're a third of the way there, and I consider that very good progress a year later. They can't even move that fast in terms of the actual hands-on construction. So we will keep at this until we raise everything that we need for the totality of this project. But I'm certainly encouraged about where we are a year later.
Good work.
Yes.
Thank you.
You bet. Our next meeting is on July 8th at 4:00.
And Mary's point is valid. You know, the question is, what does this mean to you? Obviously, there's no water increase. And just how does this compare to other public utilities that, we were kind of, we have no choice in the use of those. Potomac Edison has a rate increase of 7%. Very under the radar that no one really knows about, but brace yourself for it, it's already approved. So it looks like it's going to shake out as 4.9% the first year, 2.1% the second year. 7% is a lot. And on top of what everyone's already paying, and just not even having public meetings and different things around that, just quickly posting this is coming, make yourself aware. Most people don't even realize that it's coming, and that's 7% is a significant increase if some of these bills in town are running $500 a month or more. So
And that's a
brace
fixed
yourself.
cost. In most people's budgets, that is a fixed cost, not a discretionary cost. You pay your mortgage and your utilities, and those numbers are what they are, and you have no choice but to pay them. So we consider our stewardship, particularly of our water utility that we own, very seriously, and are looking for ways to make sure we get where we need to go without an undue burden on the customers.
Yeah, the minimum bill that, we'll compare the minimum bill of American Water. Their minimum bill is over $100. Yeah, it's ridiculously high. So that's if you look at Berkeley County and some other places that are controlled by American Water, and their rate increases are already built into their tariff. So when they create a tariff and they put a tariff out there, that tariff has multiple years, so they don't have to go back again and again and again and relitigate all these things. So, we'll continue to do the best we can for as long as we can.
Yep.
And that requires staying on point and getting these grants and building our relationships with the folks in Charleston and the folks in Washington, D.C. and throughout the state of West Virginia. So just great work. At this point, if anyone would like to address council, anyone at all? No? Okay. With that being the case, folks, thank you for coming, and
Climb that gavel down.
Smack that gavel.
We're done.
we're adjourning, yes.
Before anyone says, oh, you could.
I was wrong with the date. General Bennett from Philadelphia was the commandant.